When an Aquarius man falls in love, it rarely looks the way people expect. Because Aquarius is not a sign that performs emotion. There are no dramatic declarations, no overwhelming gestures, no moment where everything suddenly becomes obvious.
In fact, when an Aquarius man begins to care deeply about someone, the signs can be so subtle that most people miss them entirely and spend months wondering if what they felt was even real. This is why so many people eventually arrive at the same question: does he actually love me, or is he just being friendly? In other words, when an Aquarius man loves you, what does it actually look like? To understand the answer, you first have to understand how Aquarius experiences love at all. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. In astrology, Uranus represents independence, originality, and a mind that refuses to think like everyone else. This means Aquarius men rarely experience relationships in a conventional way, where other signs are drawn first to emotional intensity, to chemistry, desire, and the feeling of being swept up in something. Aquarius is drawn to something else entirely, a connection of the mind. Before an Aquarius man falls in love emotionally, he becomes fascinated intellectually. He wants to understand how you think, how you see the world, and what ideas light you up from the inside. If that mental connection is real enough, if it challenges him and surprises him and makes him feel like he is in the presence of someone genuinely original, something deeper begins to quietly develop. But Aquarius rarely rushes toward emotional attachment. He takes his time observing, learning, and carefully testing whether what he feels is built on something that will actually last. This is why the first real sign that an Aquarius man loves you is something most people overlook entirely. He lets you into his inner world. Most people who fall for an Aquarius man describe the same experience. They can feel something there, something real, but they cannot quite reach it. Aquarius keeps the most important parts of himself at a careful distance, not out of coldness, but out of a long habit of protecting the things that matter most to him. His real thoughts, his stranger ideas, and the parts of himself that have always felt slightly misaligned with the world around him. For most people in his life, that door stays closed. So when he starts bringing you past it, sharing thoughts he doesn't usually say out loud or the things that genuinely move or trouble him, pay attention, because that is not charm. That is an Aquarius man deciding quietly and deliberately that you are someone he trusts. And trust, for Aquarius, is never given easily. It is earned slowly through 100 small moments he never draws attention to. Next, he values your independence and protects it. Here is where a lot of people get hurt. Loving an Aquarius man means accepting something that can feel deeply counterintuitive. He will not try to possess you, he will not crowd you, and he will not make you feel chosen in the loud, constant way some signs do. For someone who experiences love through closeness and reassurance, that space can feel like distance. That freedom can feel like indifference, but it is not. When an Aquarius man loves someone, he gives them room because care to him means respecting who you are more than needing to feel secure. It means wanting you to remain completely yourself, even when that is uncomfortable for him. That is not a small thing. It is a rare thing. The problem is that it rarely feels like love until you learn the language it is spoken in. He also becomes genuinely curious about you. There is a specific kind of conversation that happens when an Aquarius man is falling for someone. It does not always feel romantic. It feels more like being questioned by someone who is genuinely interested in how your mind works. He asks questions that catch you off guard. Not what you do, but what you actually believe and when you started thinking that way. At first, this can feel strange, because emotional closeness is supposed to feel warm and reassuring. This can feel more like being studied. But that curiosity means something important. Aquarius does not invest his attention lightly. When he turns that attention fully toward you, when you become the person he wants to understand, it means you have already done something most people never manage. You have made him genuinely curious. And for Aquarius, that is where love begins. He shows loyalty in ways that are easy to miss. This is the part that often confuses people. If you are waiting for an Aquarius man to sit down and tell you exactly what you mean to him, you may wait a long time. It is not that he does not feel it. It is that he expresses it almost entirely through behavior. He remembers small things you told him weeks ago. He shows up during the moments that actually matter.
He stays, not dramatically or loudly, but consistently through the complicated seasons of your life.
If you are waiting for the words, it is easy to feel unloved.
But if you learn to read the actions, you begin to realize he has been showing you quietly and consistently for longer than you knew. And he starts including you in his future. Aquarius men live significantly in the future, in plans, possibilities, and the kind of life they are slowly building toward. When he begins placing you inside that future naturally, without announcement and as though it is simply assumed, it means the connection has moved beyond curiosity. It has become something he is building around. There is one final truth about loving an Aquarius man that changes everything once you understand it. Because Aquarius values freedom so deeply, the strongest relationships with this sign are never built through pressure or emotional urgency. They are built through something rare: mutual respect, real intellectual connection, and the feeling that he can be entirely himself with someone without being forced to shrink into something easier to hold.
When an Aquarius man finds that something in him that was always slightly guarded begins to settle, the distance that once made him seem unreachable starts to close. What replaces it is not grand romance.
It is something quieter and more durable than that. A connection built on genuine understanding, curiosity that never runs dry,
and the rare feeling that he has found someone who sees the world and sees him the way almost no one else ever has. If you've ever loved an Aquarius man, or if you're trying to understand one right now, leave a comment below. What is the one thing about him that surprised you most?
And if you want to explore the deeper psychology behind every zodiac sign, subscribe to Druid Shaven. Because the most powerful things happening in human relationships are rarely the things being said out loud.
They are the things slowly being understood.